Everybody hear me okay? Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. All right. So this is the certificates quiz. There's 10 questions. They're 1 point each. Okay. I believe I just gave you the 2 hours because there's no hardware to crash really, unless it's your host system. So I think that's plenty of time, honestly. Most people will be done in about 30 minutes, probably, maybe a little more. If you're having some trouble with the last questions. There's a zip folder here which contains the certificates that I want you to look at. Okay. So questions 1 to 2 involve the cert here, Google. Questions 3 to 4 involve these certs here. Questions 5 to 6 involve this TD cert. 7 to 8 involves these ones. And then 9 to 10, this single PKI cert. Okay. If you notice that, there's some CRT files and there's also some CER files. Those are the same thing. It's just a different extension for the same file. Okay. So don't sweat that too much. I just downloaded certs off the internet using Edge, and I just left the extension as the one that they suggested. But they're really the same thing. Okay. Now, in terms of any gotchas to watch out for, that I can actually discuss, number 2, you've got to delete all the links that don't apply to this particular certificate. So that's an all or nothing mark, basically. I'm not going to give part marks on it. You got to get them all right. Okay. Um, in this one here, so that's Larry Curly Moe. I give you a series of certs, and you have to order them according to where they stand in the hierarchy of a certificate chain. Okay. So you have to figure that out by reading the certs. Um, so the highest one should be the root cert, and then below that a subordinate, and below that another, the client essentially. So that should be the order. Root should be highest. Okay, so that's a little gotcha to watch out for. This is just a PowerShell question using CRL distribution. The CRL distribution points. I'm expecting you to go and download the CRL file. Okay. So if you're a little unsure about that, you go to the cert, locate the URL, download the file, and then answer questions about that file. Okay. That includes number 6. Number 6, almost anything goes. Like I'm kind of giving you a hint that CertUtil can answer your question, but it's not the only game in town. There are other ways to use this. So if you do something else, I'm not going to take marks off so long as you get the right answer. Okay. Okay, and then this one, I've got 3 subordinate certs and a client cert. 2 of them are fake, and one of them is legit. Okay, in terms of the subordinates, and you have to tell me the name of the root CA, not the subordinates, but not the name, but the authority key identifier of the root CA that this client cert came from. So you have to identify which subordinate, and within the subordinate, you have to identify the authority key. Okay, authority key ID. This is just a theory question. So just how would you make it work? And our last certificate, you got to be on a Windows machine of any type. So typically Windows 10 or Windows 11. Okay, I don't really mind which. So you could do this on your host. I give you a cert from um, the signed code, this PSD1 file. I extracted the cert from it on an older system. You have to compare your current system with that, prove to me whether they're the same or different, and get do a verification against them. Okay. And then I ask, what is it about this certificate which would normally throw an error? So pretty easy stuff. Okay. You're going to have some trouble with some of the PowerShell maybe, but I think otherwise you'll be fine. Any questions? All right. Giddy up. Have fun. Which VM are we using? And it doesn't have to be a VM. You could do it on your host, really. Doesn't matter. Um, but, if you want to choose one, you could do the forensic workstation. It doesn't really make a difference too much. Okay. Okay, ciao. I'll be in the background if you have questions. Just make sure that you don't give me a heart attack by speaking right away. Just kind of put a little message in there so I'm I'm still alive after this quiz. Thank you.